Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first video of mine that you are seeing. Today I will be doing a mouse essentials video. My last video that I posted was of me getting Whittaker, which he is out. He's right there-ish. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but he's right there. He's eating some food. So I figured, since I did my whole getting Whittaker and bringing Whittaker home, I would do like a mouse essentials, like what do you need to bring your very own Whittaker home. So I'm going to start off with like the bare basic essentials, and then I'll kind of go on to things that you don't have to have but are very much appreciated by your mice. Let me tell you guys, he is so stinking cute. Let's see if I can zoom in on him. Oh, just look at him. Look how cute he is. Oh, oh, you guys, I'm telling you. Boop. Bye, little Whittaker. So, first things first is you need a cage. Boop. So, the cage that Whittaker is actually in is kind of like an overkill, I guess you could say. This is a roughly 600 and some change square inch cage, which is like really big for a mouse. Typically, I have heard for one male mouse, a 20-gallon long tank or 200 square inches is what they suggest. Now for females, they suggest probably about 350 square inches for a set of females. Typically you should get females in a group of 3, but for a group of females, I think they suggest around 350 square inches. So this is like super big and super happy. My other male mouse that I have, let's see if I can zoom you guys over. Boop. That is my other male mouse, and his cage is a little over 450. It's like 468 or so. So obviously I am a person that I am a bigger is better type of person. So all my animals have bigger cages. Don't even get me started on my hamster cage. My hamster has a custom cage that is 1,125 square inches. So putting that out there. Just putting that out there. So I always totally do bigger is better. So like I said, Whittaker is an ace around, I want to say 640, but I don't remember exactly, square inch cage. So that is the first thing. And now pop up here a couple of other cages. There are some wired cages and like aquariums that you could use. So you can use a 40-gallon breeder, or like I said earlier, you could use a 20-gallon long. So just about any aquarium. And there's a few cages that are acceptable, but I just use bin cages because they're easier to make and they're cheap. So the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need bedding. So for mice, there's multiple types of bedding that are safe. You got paper bedding, you have aspen shavings, and you have hemp bedding or shavings. I don't have any experience with the hemp bedding. I don't have any experience using it or know anything whatsoever about it, so I can't really talk about that. But I have used aspen shavings in the past, and the breeder that I got him from uses aspen bedding. But I don't really like aspen bedding. For one, it's just really rough to me, and I don't like the way that it feels, and I don't want my mice running around in that. And two, it doesn't hold up that good. So they make burrows and stuff, although I notice my mice don't really burrow as much as my hamster does, but if they make any burrows or anything like that, they just don't hold up that great. So I don't personally love aspen bedding, so I use paper bedding. And the brand that I use is the KT Clean and Cozy. This is the only brand I'll use. I have tried other brands like Carefresh and I don't even know what else, but I've used multiple different brands, and this, like, I'm sorry, but this is really, this is the best one that I have discovered. The bedding is just so, like, just fluffy and soft, and it's something that I would want to sleep on. You know, I wouldn't want to put something in there that I wouldn't want to sleep on. They also have a Naturals, which I don't love the Naturals as much as this white one because I just find that it's more papery and less fluffy. But I don't mind that one either. So if you wanted a more natural habitat, you could totally go with the Naturals one because it's brown. But this is the one that I personally like. So the next item that you're obviously going to need is food. For a strict mouse diet, I have found such controversy around what to feed them, what not to feed them, if they can eat the same thing as hamsters, if they can eat the same thing as rats. It's so confusing. There's so much confusing information out there about what kind of food to be feeding your mouse. I think the general consensus is you should be feeding them a lab block. So I feed my mice, and my hamster for that matter, the Missouri Rat and Mouse Lab Lock. So this is what that looks like. I love the little rat on there. He's so cute. But it's just a little pellet that they can munch on and chew on. And this is actually the food that the breeder I get Whitaker off of uses. But I am a person that I just can't give them just a lab lock. That doesn't seem right to me. That'd be like us eating just broccoli every day. I can't do that. So after some of my own research and things that I have looked up, now again, every single person is different. Somebody's probably going to tell me that, oh, you shouldn't be feeding your mouse that either. Every single person is different. This is what I found, and this is what works for me. So I personally use Brown's Naturals Classic Encore Parakeet Food. Now I know some of you are going to be like, parakeet food? What? But that is what I feed them. So like I said, Brown's Natural Classic Encore Parakeet Food. And I get the Naturals one because just about every other parakeet food I have found has artificial colors in it, and that is a big no-no to me. I don't like artificial colors. I've actually had problems with artificial colors in the past, making my mice sick. So I specifically have to find ones that don't, and you would be surprised at how hard that is. Like, it is not easy. Even if you went the other route, because I've seen people give their mice hamster food, you know, like the Higgins Sunburst and that kind of thing. And even going hamster food route, it's really hard to find food that's dye-free. The Higgins Sunburst is dye-free, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't feed my mice Higgins Sunburst because, for one, they just don't like it. And two, there's a lot of big pieces. Now, I know mice can chew down sunflower seeds and stuff like that, but my mice don't like that. When I first got mice, I gave them the Higgins Sunburst because that's what I gave my hamster, and they wouldn't eat it. They would go a week and they would just pick out the things that they liked and left all of the big food in there. So that's why I went with parakeet food. And like I said, I did tons of research, and I learned that parakeet food is safe for them. And it's good for them because it is a smaller seed mix. So in this particular one, let's see, where's the ingredients list? On the side. So in this particular one, it has white millet, oat groats, canary grass seed, red millet, wheat flour, ground corn, ground oats, ground gluten meal, dehulled soybean meal, soybean oil, brewer's dried yeast, and then it has a bunch of vitamins, and then it has yucca extract, rosemary extract, and then it has beta carotene for color. So like I said, this is the one that I choose. Now, some of that you heard in there, this does have, what do they call them? Zoo Vital Biscuits. So on the back it says the Zoo Vital Biscuits are a unique variety of shapes, textures, and biscuit densities provide needed exercise. Each artificial color-free biscuit contains vitamins and nutrients important for the overall well-being of your pet. Probiotics have been added to support digestive health. So some of the things like the corn gluten meal, the soybean meal, the soybean oil, that would be part of the little biscuit to hold it together. So that's just what I feed my mouse. Like I said, every owner is different, every mouse is different, what they like, what they don't like. But as you can see, oh, he took off. But as you saw this whole video, he loves it. I fed him right before the video so that way you guys can see him. But he loves it. My other mouse loves it as well. So this has been a favorite. I did use a different Browns one when I first got mice, and that one was a favorite as well. So I feel like just this brand is very good because they're just good. But this is what I feed my mice. So the next thing you're gonna need is hides. Now, mice are very skittish creatures. They are a prey animal, but they are like the smallest prey animal you can pretty much get. And they're very skittish and they love to hide. Now, as you can see in his cage, I have a hide here. I have a tunnel here. I have another tunnel here. I have something in the back there that he can hide under. So if I'm going in and he's uncomfortable, he can go and hide under that. I have tons of hides. There's a little thing over here that he likes to dig under. So, and hanging up, I have multiple hanging hides. But that's beside the point. But I have tons of things for him to hide in because when I reach my hand in there, this is scary. This looks like a bird coming in to get him. And they don't like that. So I usually try going flat, but even that's probably pretty scary. That's pretty big compared to his little mousy body. So I make sure that there's plenty of places for him to hide. So as I showed you, there's tunnels and stuff like that. So I'll just show you a couple right off. I don't have any hides out. I'll pop a couple up here so you guys can see like some ground hides that you can give them. But I also have like tunnels. So this is just a Timothy Hay tunnel. I believe this is by Oxbow. I got it at PetSmart. And then there's Bendy Bridges. You can get these really, really cheap off of Amazon. But they're just Bendy Bridges, so you can bend it and they can go hide under there. You can even turn it into a tunnel if you really want to. You can turn it. And so just so them another thing to hide on, they can also climb over it. And then if you're on a budget and you don't have the money, paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls or anything of that nature, mice can fit in this really, really well, and they actually really love these. My mice love to chew these up. I actually don't think I have any in there with him right now. I don't see any right off, but I know he has some, and they actually really love to chew these up and add these to their bedding. But they're just a really cheap alternative. I save all of my paper towel and toilet paper rolls specifically for my mice. My husband gets so annoyed, but what you gonna do? So the next thing you're gonna need are chews. Now, all small rodents or pets are gonna need something to chew because their teeth are constantly growing and they have to have something to file them down. Now, I will say, I very, 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 very rarely do I see my mice chewing on anything. I'm just going to be honest. I have 2 male mice. Neither one of them have even put a ding on their chew toys. Now, they might have like a little nibble on one or two here and there. There might be a nibble missing. But they don't chew like my hamster does. She goes through chew toys like crazy. And the mice just don't do that. Like, they just don't have any interest in that. But always good to have that option in there because you don't want to not give them something that they need just because they don't use it. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But these are just some options that I have. So I have these. They are the Enriched Life Apple Rounds by Oxbow. Now, these actually have cardboard on them. And again, my mice really like cardboard. So they actually really like these. They will actually peel off the bark that's on those apple sticks. And then obviously chew up the cardboard. They usually leave the sticks behind. But hey, it gives them something to do. As well as something to chew on. Because I'm sure even just chewing on this cardboard is helping their teeth. And then the other things that I have that I've noticed that my mice like, again, they don't chew on them a lot. They're very picky. They But I've noticed both of them are at least interested in stuff like this. And this is the Crispy Chews by KT. So it's just a loofah chew. I have this one in his cage, and I have a different type of chew in his cage, but it's like the same idea. It's like the loofah. Sorry if you guys can hear banging and children playing. My window's open because it's like a million degrees in here, so I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that. But so this is like a loofah chew, and again, that's just something that I found that he likes, or they like. I also have other things, like you guys, I don't know if you can see it real well, but I have a wooden chew there, and I have a grass chew there. I just have a bunch of different options in there, but they don't really chew any of them. So, but it's something that you need to offer just in case your mouse is a chewer. Now, obviously, something that I should have probably mentioned earlier, but something that is obviously something you need is a food dish. Although you could scatter feed, but I find that mice don't really scavenge as well as like hamsters or other rodents do. They don't look as hard. Maybe that's just my mice. Maybe they're just lazy. I don't know. But I just find that they don't look as hard. So I have a food dish. His is actually a drilled out birch disc thing. And his is actually a food bowl. And then for water bottle, you can use a water bowl. But I have found that my mice hate them. I've had no luck with a water bowl. In fact, my other mouse, Fable, when I gave him a water bowl, he would put shavings, or bedding I should say, in his water bowl and then suck off of the bedding because he did not want to stick his face in the water. So I don't use water bowls for any of my pets, for that matter. I only use water bottles. So his water bottle is actually in the back there. And if you have a bin cage and you are confused and you don't know what to use for a water bottle, because I mean, you have the cover here and it's really hard to like hang anything. You can't drill in because then like your pets could escape. They actually at PetSmart, I don't know about Petco, I don't think I've seen anything like that, but at PetSmart they have water bottles that have a sticky back that's really sticky. Trust me, you cannot get it off. I have tried. You can't get them off unless you ruin it. Like, you have to like physically rip it apart to get it off. That has a sticky back that you like peel off the sticker, and then it leaves like this foamy gluey thing, and you stick it to the back, and once you stick it, it's there. It ain't coming off. And then you can just push the tab and the water bottle itself pops off. So it leaves like the sticky part on there, but the water bottle you can take and refill and stuff. And I use them for all of my cages, and they work fantastic. So if you guys are in the shopping for a water bottle, in the market for a water bottle, there we go. I highly suggest you check out PetSmart and those water bottles. I have nothing but good things to say about those water bottles, and they actually work. Just saying. So the last essential that you need for your mice is treats. Like, what mouse doesn't want treats? Now, I have a couple of different treats that my mice really love. First thing are sprays of some sort, or just different little natural things. So this is a Millet Spray. Again, this is birds. You can use a lot of bird stuff for mice or rodents in general, as long as they are 100% natural and they don't have any artificial colors or flavors. But this is just the Extreme Millet Spray. It's the Brown's Natural. I really like that brand, you guys. I'm sorry. And it's just 100% millet sprays. But my mice love these. They go crazy. Absolutely crazy for millet sprays. He doesn't seem to be as interested in them as my other mouse is, but he will eat them. I have seen him munch on it, but my other mouse, it'll be gone in like 2 minutes. He loves them. And then I also have oat sprays. Again, birds. But my mice really like these as well. These aren't quite their favorite, as my hamster loves these. Like, she will smell me getting these out of the bag and she's hunting for it. But these are Oat Sprays. And then lastly, I have, again, the Brown Tropical Carnival Natural Wheat Sprays. And these are just wheat sprays. I actually had to order these online because I could not find them in store anywhere. But, so those are just some natural treats that they can forage, because again, foraging is good. Natural treats that they can forage for. And then I also have some other natural treats that they can forage for that are probably liked a little bit more than the ones that I just showed you. And these are actually freeze-dried bugs. Yeah, you heard me right. Freeze-dried bugs. Now, my mice personally like grasshoppers and mealworms, and it's so funny because Fable prefers the grasshoppers and Whitaker prefers the mealworms. They'll both eat the other one. Like, Fable will eventually eat the mealworms and Whitaker will eventually eat the grasshoppers. But it's funny that, like, it's the opposite, which really makes me happy, so that way I know somebody's eating something. So, like I said, this is just the Fluker's freeze-dried grasshoppers. And on the package it says for reptiles and birds, but like I said, a lot of stuff for birds are safe for rodents. And these are literally just freeze-dried grasshoppers. That's literally what it is. And then this, like I said, is also Fluker's freeze-dried mealworms. So just mealworms. And my mice love these. They also have other things like crickets and fly larvae. I haven't experimented with any of those yet. These are just what I was able to pick up at my local store. So at PetSmart, because it's literally the only store I have around. I have PetSmart and Petco. That's it. But these are what I was able to pick up at PetSmart. But they have tons of other ones that you can order online on Chewy and stuff like that. So this is just what I personally have. But like I said, my mice go crazy for these. And as you guys can see, or I talked about in my last video, I have a dig pit. And that's where I put these a lot. So they have to dig for these and they go crazy for them. Some other treats that they really like are seeds. Now, I know I said that they don't really like sunflower seeds, but this particular seed mix has a lot more than sunflower seeds. The sunflower seeds will sit, but they also have pumpkin seeds, squash seeds, melon seeds, and watermelon seeds in here. And both of my mice, for that matter, more Fable than Whitaker, but both of them, for the most part, love the pumpkin seeds. I don't know what it is about pumpkin seeds. I don't know if it's because it has a soft shell on it. I'm not sure, but they go crazy for the pumpkin seeds. Like, that is their jam. But they really like this mix. So this is the Brown's Tropical Carnival Select Seed Treats. All natural for hamsters, gerbils, rats, and mice. And if you guys watched my haul video, my small pets haul video, you will know that I have these like backed up and back up and back. This one's almost gone, as you can see, and I have 2 unopened ones saved because all of my animals go crazy, absolutely crazy for this stuff. Like, this is literally their favorite treats. Like, I could only get this and they would be happy. Like, they go crazy for this stuff. And another more natural treat that's a little different are these Rosewood Naturals Apple and Strawberry Bunnies. Now, I love these because I feel like they're like dog treats, but for your like rodents. I don't know. So they're shaped like bunnies, kind of, as you can see in there. And my mice, it takes a while for my mice to eat these, but they do eventually. My hamster loves these. She gobbles them right up. But this is just something that's a little bit different if you want to offer a different texture to them. And last but not least, herbs. My hamster doesn't really eat herbs, but my mice love herbs. I don't know if they like to take them and nest with them or if they actually chew on them. I have seen them chew on them. But this one, I haven't opened this one yet, but this is the Rosewood Naturals Summer's Harvest. And inside here it has pea flakes, raspberry leaves, mallow herbs, chamomile herbs, rose blossoms, marigold blossoms, corn flower, chamomile blossoms, strawberry, sunflower petals, and mallow blossoms. And they're all dried. And like I said, my mice have gone crazy for this. They love them. They love chewing on the flowers. And it's just something that's nice to make your cage look pretty, because if you guys can see, there's like blue flowers in here, and you got the red strawberries and the yellow flowers. So they just love this, and it makes your cage look so pretty. So sorry if I'm in a different position. I had to go help my husband with something, so my chair might be moved, or I might be closer or further away from the camera. I don't know, but I'm back. So the next thing that you will need for your pet mouse is hanging toys. Things for them to climb on, things for them to hang off of, literally. I haven't noticed Whitaker doing as much, but Fable will literally just hang off of the wire on top and just walk back and forth on, like, hanging, like, upside down. He's totally crazy, but you need stuff to do that. So the first thing I have are bridges, which I don't have any, so I'll show you, like, a picture of them right here. But I have, like, a bridge here, and then a bridge there. Well, how do I show that to you? A bridge there. I have all kinds of hanging bridges. And then the other thing you can use is rope. Now, they say sisal rope, I think is what it's called. But this is just a jute rope, natural fiber jute rope. I bought a lot of it, 10 feet to be exact, and I just make my own. So I just tie the rope to the circle, and then it has a little clip on it. I just clip it up top. So I use that, and they love to climb on this. And then some other toys that you can have are some like hanging toys. So again, this is that loofah stuff that they like with like little wood shoes. This I found in the bird section. Most of the stuff that you're going to find that hangs or any sort of hanging thing is going to be birds. They don't have this stuff in pets and mice, I should say. It's all in birds. I don't know why. I mean, mice are a rodent, so you think it'd be in the rodent section, but they don't. So birds is where you have to look for a lot of this stuff. So this is a bird thing. And this is a hide, like a foraging toy. So you put food in there or treats in there or whatever in there, and they have to climb up and open this little door up and figure out how to get the food out of there. So it's just another little toy. And similar to this is my pots that I talk about a lot. I'll show you a picture of it right here. But I really like these, and my mice seem to really like these. And then, like I said earlier, you have to have hanging houses. My mice love their hanging houses. In fact, they sleep in their hanging houses way more than they sleep in anything else. Like, Whitaker likes his like little house over here a lot, but he loves his hanging house a lot. And Fable, all he sleeps in is his hanging house. He will not sleep on the ground. We call it his little man hut. He only sleeps in his hanging thing. So I'll show you like a picture of what I have for their hanging hut. But that's what I use. And they have other options as well. They have like little hammocks. I have this one in his camping cage. So they have different options for hanging things, but those are definitely things that you need because they love them. Last but not least, you need a wheel. And a lot of people don't think about this for mice because it's a mouse. Mice don't need wheels, but you definitely need a wheel. I think this is one of those controversial things as well. Like, oh, do mice really need wheels or do they not? Yes. Yes, I'll put that out there. They need their wheels. Now, his wheel is over here. He has a Night Angel wheel. I will put a picture of it right here. But I've also used flying saucers, and they like those as well. But they definitely need their wheels. So don't forget a wheel. So my battery died. I swear you guys, this video is just not in my favor. So again, if I'm in a different position again, that's why. So the next stuff I'm going to talk about are things that you don't necessarily need, but your mouse will thank you. So first thing first, as you can see here, I have a lot of dirt. This is a dig pit. Now, you don't have to do it as big as I do. I sometimes put them in a little bowl or like a Tupperware if you guys have that. But I dedicate a large portion of their cage to their dig pit because they really love it. Now, this is what I use for their dirt. Now, I don't know if there's other options out there, but this is what I use because I know it's safe for mice, and I know that it's not going to harm them, and there's nothing in there that's going to harm them. So it is the Zoo Med Eco Earth. It is compressed coconut fiber, and I personally get the bricks. So it has 3 bricks in it. Ooh, wrong side. Three bricks in it. I've already used one, that's why one's missing. And you mix it with about 3 to 4 cups of water. And it expands and it makes beautiful dirt. Now, the dirt is wet because it has water in it. So when you go to put it in, make sure you're rinsing it out really, really well. Like wringing it, like squeezing it before you put it in. You can also probably dry it in the oven, but I don't do that. I just make sure that I wring it out really well. And it dries out in about a day or 2. So, plus my mice seem to really like it wet. I don't know why, but they like to roll around in it. I'm not sure. They seem to play in it more when it's more damp than when it's dry. I'm not sure. But like I said, it is not sopping wet. It's not like they're taking a bath in it. They don't even get wet. Just because it's damp, they don't get wet because you don't want to put your mice in water because that can make them sick. But it is damp. It is not dry, but it's not wet. And so they really like it when I do that. That's just not something I have to have, but I highly suggest it because my mice love it. They love it. They would be very mad at me if I didn't have this in their cage. The next thing is another substrate option. And this is any type of hay. Now, I use orchard grass. And it is just a soft stemmed hay. I have talked about this a lot in my other videos, but they love to dig around in it. They like to take it into their nest. It's just another texture, so you don't have just the bedding or just the dirt. And sometimes I mix it in with their bedding just so they have more stiffness in it to help them with their burrows and anything like that. But that's another option. And the third option is sand. So there's a couple of different options for sand. You can get children's play sand, which is what I use. You can get reptile sand, as long as it's just sand. Or you can get, you know, other options. Like mostly, those are mostly the two. Is reptile sand, as long as it's just sand, not the calcium sand. Or children's play sand. And I actually have mine, I don't think you can see it in the video, it's like over here. But I have mine in a bowl, in a glass bowl. And they love to go in it and roll around. Sand is really good for rodents, hamsters, mice. I'm not sure about gerbils. I don't own gerbils, so I'm not totally sure. But it's really good because that's how they take a bath. So, obviously, anything with fur, hair, anything, they produce oils. So, in order for them to clean those oils off of their fur, they use the sand. And the sand helps absorb those oils and just keep them not so gross. And they love to roll around in it. They have a good old time. He doesn't, I know he uses it because the sand's all messed up, but I've never actually seen him use it. But Fable loves his sand bath, and he rolls around in it and has a grand old time. So, it's just something that I feel like it's one of those things that you need because they love it. And they would literally be so angry at me. At least Fable, I know, would be angry at me if I didn't have it in there. Now, I know a lot of people don't provide sand baths for their mice. And I don't know if that's just one of those controversial things, like mice don't need it. Or maybe people don't think to put it in with mice. I don't know, but I did it because I did it with my hamster. So, I'm like, well, why wouldn't the mice be greasy? Wouldn't mice need sand baths too? So I put it with my mice and they love it. So that's just another one of those things where, you know, You might not think about it, but they would appreciate it. Some other things that you might not think of right off, but some natural elements. So if you want to make your mouse cage more natural, more what they would find out in nature, there's a bunch of different ways to do that. So for example, in his cage, I have some spider wood. I also have some mopani, I think that's how you pronounce that, wood. And you can get those in the reptile section. And then I also have a cork log, which I believe you can also get in the reptile section. So the cork log is just a natural log that has a hole in the middle so they can run through it. So those are just some natural elements or textures that you can add to your cage that will just make it a little bit more natural feeling. You can also add things such as moss or anything of that nature. I have sphagnum moss, but I haven't really used it a lot yet. I haven't figured out how to. It's on my list. I have it. I'm going to figure it out. But you can also use that. You can glue it onto Bendy Bridges as long as you use like non-toxic glue. Just to add like a more texture or to fill in gaps. But that's pretty much it for all the essentials that you need. They are amazing. I love my mice, as you guys can tell. I've had male mice and female mice, and male mice get a bad rep for being stinky, and I will say they do have a smell. I'll put that out there. I'm not gonna deny that they have a smell, but as long as you keep their cage clean, they don't really stink. I mean, I have, like, in Fables, I have, like, a fabric hammock, really hammock, like a tunnel that hangs up, and he pees in that occasionally, and that will stink if I don't clean it. So I'll take it out, and I'll just rub it down with some Dawn dish soap, and make sure it's dry before I hang it back up, and the smell goes away. So it's not even that big of a deal. And I just love my male mice. They're just something different about male mice. Female mice, I feel like you might get the occasional one that's like a male mouse, but for the most part, they're more of like a pack animal, if that makes any sense at all. So they don't really bond with you. They don't really have that connection with you because they have that connection with each other. So I don't prefer that. I prefer my male mice. Now, don't mind how dirty his cage is. It definitely needs to be cleaned. But Fable was out, so I figured you guys could all say hi to him. Say hi, Fable. So, that is that. So, thank you for watching my video. I hope you guys all have a great day, morning, evening, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye.